All right, good morning, sports fans. We have an interesting matchup this morning for you with the Aces versus the Snipers. You're going to see some familiar names out there from the HPL. The Snipers are similar to the Aces, compilation of different HPL and minor hockey players from all across the province. For Wolves fans, a couple of notables out there. Number 9, Luke Harrington, and Wolves alumni, Mateo Peso, number 17 on the Snipers. Aces coming off of a win and a tie yesterday. And the Snipers, 1 win, 1 loss here in the tournament. How's it going? Good. All right, starting 5 for the Aces. The Cam lead line with Shelley to the left of her. Jack Moore to the right. Millick and Helm on D. Faceoff goes back to Millick in his own zone. Got Helm up by the blue line in the near boards here. Helm looking for a cross-ice pass. Gets it back to Millick. Millick gets it out of his own zone up the Cam lane across the blue line. Flanked on either side over to Shelley. Puck comes back to Cam Lade, down deep for Shelley around the back of the net. Fought off by a couple of Snipers there, and it comes back up the near side into the middle to Peso. Peso from the Snipers through center ice, taking him himself. Cam Lade's all over him, ends up offside. We'll restart this just outside the blue line. Aces will quick change out of there. So Neil and Dylan will come on to flank Zhang, who will take the face-off. Cochran and Kerrigan back on D. Cochran takes the face-off over to Kerrigan. Kerrigan looking for a cross-ice pass up through the skates of Zhang deep into the far corner. Peso picks it up behind his own net. Off of the Snipers. Gets it over behind his net. Gets laid out by Zhang. There'll be an early penalty to the Aces here. 14-13 of the first period. First penalty of the game. We'll go to the Aces as Zhang is going to do 2 minutes. First start of the power play unit will come on for the Snipers. The penalty kill will be the remaining line of O'Neill, Dillon, Kerrigan, and Cochran. Flag between the pipes again today for the Aces. Dillon with the face-off. Face-off goes into the near boards. Kerrigan can't find it. Snipers get a chance here early. Cochran gets a stick in the way of it and throws it through the legs of everybody all the way down the ice. That Zhang penalty actually ended up being a 4-minute penalty. We're 15 seconds into it now. Snipers behind their own net. Dillon pressuring the puck. Snipers up through their own blue line and up through center ice. Here they are on the attack. Bit of a 2-on-3. Bit of a chance here. Gets swatted away by Kerrigan. Kerrigan throws it up off the boards. It's not strong enough to get out of the zone. Dillon is able to get it out, and offside is called on the Snipers. We'll start this right outside the blue line. 13:38 in the first period. 3:25 remains in the Zhang penalty. Aces will change out as Graham and West will come on. Betts and Cindric behind them. Face-off goes back to Cindric. He's able to clear it out deep. Snipers chasing down into their own zone. 13.5 minutes left in the first period. A lot of pressure there. Snipers across the blue line. Loose puck in the middle. Gets picked up. Shot gets deflected into the far corner by Betts. Betts picks it up behind his own net. Trying to create some space and get it out of the zone. Throws it up through the middle. All the way down the ice. 2:52 remaining in the Zhang penalty. Shelley comes onto the ice. Graham's still there pressuring the puck. Snipers out of their own zone through center ice. Graham pressuring it. Shelley gets it away. Gets pushed into the near boards. Snipers still trying to find control. Little Luke Harrington picks it up on the boards, throws it in deep into the corner. Cindric is right there for the Aces. Harrington right out front trying to create something. The Snipers get a shot. Gets over the stick of flag. Capitalizing on the power play. The Snipers go up 1-0 at 2:22 of the penalty. 12:35 of the first period. Aces go down 1 on the power play goal, set up by Luke Harrington to a teammate. Harrington to the Snipers is going to line up for this face-off against Camley to the Aces. Jack Moore to her left. Helm and Millick behind them. Puck goes into the far board. Snipers pick it up. 12 and a half minutes to go in the first. Minute 52 remain in the Zeng penalty. Puck goes through Harrington. Helm tips it away. Moore picks it up. Gets into the far boards. Millick has to chip it back out. Camley is right there on the far board. Jack Moore picks it up and throws it across the blue line. Snipers regroup. Moore with tons of pressure. Camley gets a stick on it. Bouncing puck into the near boards. Nobody can get a handle on it. Helm picks it up and throws it back into center ice. Moore all over it. Back to Helm. Helm can't get it completely out. Here comes the Snipers again. Camley is right there to pressure in front of her own bench. Nobody can get a handle on it. Helm picks up the loose puck, turns it around, gets it out into neutral zone. Moore is right there, pressuring heavy. Snipers have to regroup. Minute 5 left on the penalty to Zeng. Here come the Snipers across the blue line, right down the middle. Huge pressure from Camley. They're going to get a penalty on the Aces again. Millick doesn't dance, but it gets whistled down. Aces are going to have to be real vigilant here as they're going to be down 5-3 on this power play as Dylan, Carrigan, and Cochran come in to try and kill off 57 seconds of the remaining Zang penalty. Camley goes to the box for a couple of minutes. Faceoff goes into the far side. Peso has it at the top over to Hoff. Hoff's got some time, throws a shot up there. It gets deflected before Flake can get his glove on it. Carrigan picks up the loose puck on the far boards. Clears it out into the neutral zone. Peso comes back across the blue line himself. There's it over to Fitzpatrick with a shot off the blocker. High into the glass behind. Bouncing puck. Everyone thought that was a whistle, but got thrown on deep. 27 seconds left in the Zane penalty. Here come the Snipers again across the blue line. Cochran's in front of it. Swats it into the corner. Snipers with a shot. Goes off the blocker into the glass again around the near boards. Off picks it up. Looking for some space. Dylan was all over him. The puck goes wide left into the corner. Peso finds it before he gets out of the zone. Peso, the shot from the point, goes wide right, all the way around back to half of the Snipers. Dylan pressuring there. Big shot from the point. Gets tipped. And over the stick. Peso's shot from the point gets tipped by, it looks like, Cochran and the Sniper. Flag couldn't keep it out. 10:30 of the first period. The Snipers go up 2-0 on a second power play goal. We'll be back to full strength as O'Neill and Dylan will come out to flank Zhang, who's been in the box for 4 minutes. Cindric and Betts will be back on D. Faceoff goes out to O'Neill. He gets it over across to Dylan over the blue line. Dylan drops it to Zhang. He tries to chip it back in deep. Betts has to throw it into O'Neill on the far board there. Loose puck on the near side. Snipers trying to clear it. Cindric keeps it in. Dumps it in deep. Couple of Snipers right there on the near side. Cindric can't keep it in that time. Snipers are going to get it out into neutral zone. O'Neill goes down to chase it at his own blue line over to Betts. Betts looks for it up front to Dylan. Dylan chips it across the blue line to Zhang. Zhang runs into traffic. Dylan tries to pick it up. Battle on that far board. The Snipers come away with it. They're going to have a 2-on-1 forming. Cindric trying to get back. There's Zhang back checking to help. Shot goes wide high. Zhang tracks it down in the near board, throws it up in the neutral zone, but there's only Snipers there. Snipers coming back across center ice. Cindric picks it up on his own blue line, takes it himself through neutral, gets it across the blue line, dumps it deep. Aces are going to change. Snipers behind their own net. Udovicic on the ice with West, Graham, and Helm. Millick joins the party. Snipers deep in their own end, deep in our end. Helm pushes it into the board. Udovicic trying to track it down in the near corner here. Millick there to help with West. Battle on the boards comes out with the Snipers. Snipers right in the middle of the shot. Glove save from Flag. 9:09 in the first period. 2-0 for the Snipers. Shots are 6-0 Snipers as the Aces have spent most of this game in the box. Helm and Millick will remain out there. Graham wins the faceoff in his own corner. Milik picks it up, tries to get it over to Udovicic. Pass goes deep into the Snipers, and they throw it right back. Flag stops the puck. Helm gets it. Snipers are offside. They'll do a faceoff just outside the zone over here. 8:54 in the first period. Remains 2-0. Luke Harrington will line up against Graham of the Aces. Faceoff goes back to Milik. Milik back up to Graham. Graham's got Udovicic to his right, gets across the blue line. West is going for the net. Pass gets interrupted by the Snipers. Here comes West. West tries to drop pass it, but goes into traffic. Punts it down in the near boards. Graham is going to get called for. He takes the kid down. So Graham is going to do 2 minutes in the box. 8:31 of the first period. Gets called for slashing. More Shelley, Cochran, and Kerrigan will come out the first part of the penalty kill. Shelley lines up at the faceoff and goes into the near corner here. Cochran is right there on the boards to pick it up. Trying to clear it out. Gets it up ahead, bounces over across the Snipers. Sticks. Moore facing it down. Can't get it there. Snipers throw it all the way around the board. Back in the neutral zone. Cochran's right there at center ice to chip it back in deep. Minute 39 on the penalty to Graham. Snipers in the near corner coming along the boards here. Gets out of their zone. Kerrigan can't get it away. Cochran in front of it. Kerrigan pressuring it. Pops in and out of flags. Good save initially, but there's a few different rebounds swatted there. Flag is able to keep it out. Camlade and Zhang will come on with Betts and Sindrich for the second half of this penalty. A minute 18 left in it to Graham. 7:49 in the period. Shots are 9-0 for the Snipers. Camlade's going to line up against Penrose for this faceoff. Goes into the far boards. Camlade tracks it down herself. Peso up at the point. Shot goes wide left. Sindrich tracks it down behind his own net. Gets it over to Betts. Betts throws it out. The long arm of Peso slows it down, but Camlade's all over it. Zhang finds it at the blue line. Zhang has it himself through center ice. Chips it ahead to Camlade across the blue line. Peso's right there with that long reach. Peso and Camlade battling. Loose puck. Zhang almost got a stick on it. Snipers been dominating this first period. 45 seconds left in the Graham penalty. Snipers across the blue line again. Sindrich is in front of it. Pushes it behind the net. Snipers have to go all the way around the horn. Right back to the point for Hoff. Hoff over the Peso with a quick shot. Gets deflected and blocked by Sindrich. Another shot wide high by Peso. Rebound. Flag is trying to keep it out. Everyone's swatting at it. Finally a whistle. 21 seconds left in the Graham penalty. 6:52 in the first period. Remains 2-0 Snipers. O'Neill, Dillon, Milik, and Helm come on to complete this penalty kill. O'Neill lines up for the faceoff. He had Milik to his right there. Goes into the far corner. Snipers have it. Milik gets thrown down, and that'll be the first penalty on the Snipers. So it's 6:45 of the first period. The Aces will get a bit of a chance here. Moore and Zhang will come on to join Milik and Helm. As for at least 14 seconds, it'll be 4-on-4 hockey before Graham gets out of the box. With a face-off to the left of the Snipers tender here. Jack Moore's going to take it. He's got Zhang to his left, Helm at the point, and Milik on the far board. Puck goes into the far corner. Snipers have it behind their own net. And back up through center ice. Milik and Helm are in front of it. Zhang and Moore back checking. Here come the Snipers across the blue line. Zhang tips it away. Helm gets a stick on it. Loose puck gets picked up by Milik. Dillon is out. He can't stay on side for the long pass. He was trying his darndest. 6:24 of the first period. 1:39 remains in the Sniper penalty. But the Aces will be 5-on-4. for really the first time in this game, they might have a chance of getting some shots. It is 11-0 shots on net for the Snipers currently. Aces are probably playing in a little bit of shock right now. Zhang lines up for the faceoff with Dylan to his left. Face-off, the puck is kind of dead, and then it's thrown out to the Snipers who try and clear it off the neutral boards. Helm is there to pick it up. Bouncing puck. Gets it up into neutral ice, but it gets over the stick of Dylan and goes deep. 6:10 of the first period. Minute 25 remains in the Sniper penalty. Icing call as the pass from Helm to Dylan just bounced over his stick and went the full distance of the ice. Will come back down to be left of flag for the face-off. Same line will stay out there. Zhang will line up for the face-off. He's got Helm to his left, which is where the face-off goes into the near corner here. Helm goes around his own net looking for Jack Moore. It gets past his stick, and the Snipers throw it back down deep. Helm has to go chase it. Helm finds it behind his own net. Looking for somebody. Over to Jack Moore. Moore through neutral ice. Everybody's on side. Moore goes through to the middle. Gets interrupted, but Zhang now has the loose puck. Got a chance of finally a shot on net for the Aces. The 0 has been taken off the board. 5:40 of the first period. 55 seconds remain in the penalty to the Snipers. 2-0 Snipers. Millick and Helm stay out there with Zhang, Moore, and Dylan. Zhang lines up for the faceoff. Goes to the far boards to Millick. Millick over to Helm. Helm's got some space. Centering pass. Shot gets deflected off of the knee into the far corner. Moore picks it up. Back to Millick at the blue line. Millick down low into Zhang. Zhang with a big shot, pad save. Zhang behind the net. Moore sets a bit of a screen for him all the way over to Helm. Helm's got some room. Centering pass from Helm got interrupted. Zhang gets taken down, thrown into the boards. 24 seconds left in the period. In the penalty. Centering pass over into the far board. Millick picks it up. Millick gets caught up with a Sniper who's able to clear it. Helm racing with a Sniper to find it. Holding off. Back to Jack Moore. Moore with a long pass gets intercepted by the Snipers. Zhang now with Dylan to his right. 4:40 left in the period. Zhang with a long shot. Aces trying to build some momentum here. Just a few shots on net during that power play. Couldn't capitalize on it. 4:36 remain in the period. 2-0 Snipers. Kamlade's line with Shelley and O'Neill come back on with Cochran and Kerrigan. Kamlade lines up for the faceoff. Shelley to her left. Back at full strength hockey. Faceoff goes into the far corner. Snipers pick it up behind their own net. Lots of pressure from O'Neill as the Snipers clear it out of their own zone, but the puck goes into their own bench. We'll reset this on the other side of the blue line. No line change. 4:27 in the first period. Kamlade will line up. She'll have Shelley to the left, Kerrigan to the left D. Cochran out there in open ice with O'Neill right in front of the net. Faceoff goes back to Kerrigan, just goes outside of his reach. He has to go chase it down, gets it back up to Shelley, but there's tons of traffic from the Snipers. Penrose with the Snipers has to regroup in his own end. So all the way through the neutral zone, Kerrigan pushes it off to the side. Tons of traffic. The Sniper gets all the way to flag. He jumps on it with the glove. 4:05 in the first period. West, Graham, and Udovicic will come in to replace this front three. Cindric and Betts on the back end. Graham lines up for the faceoff. Faceoff goes into the near corner. Cindric behind his own net, looking for somebody. Chips it out to Udovicic. Through into the middle. Graham now has it. They stay on side. Graham all the way into the near corner. Pushed in there by a bunch of traffic from the Snipers who take it away from him, push it up the near boards. Cindric keeps it in and dumps it in. Nobody's there. It's all Snipers. Cindric again gets a stick on it, but gets beat by a couple of Snipers. Got a 3-on-1 that's established. Betts gets a stick on it into the near corner. Huge defensive play. Cindric and Betts fighting on the boards with a couple of Snipers trying to get the puck out. Gets centered real quick, but Graham is right there. He's able to chip it ahead. Doesn't get it out. Snipers were able to dump it in deep. Cindric behind his own net. Back to Betts now. A little bit of space up to West. West blows a tire. The puck goes back into the near corner. Betts has to track it down. The Snipers got it behind flag right now. Sniper centering pass goes through the crease. Cindric throws down Penrose. These guys have known each other for a few years, playing against each other in the HPL. Cindric throws it up into the middle for O'Neill. It gets chipped down by a Sniper. There's Penrose again. Graham's all over it. Throws it into the corner. Centering pass from the Sniper. Shot is wide high. O'Neill is right there. Shot goes off of the side of flag there, back behind the net. The Snipers is advancing with pressure again. Snipers in the far board. Betts can't get it. Loose puck in front. Graham comes away with it. Over to Udovicic. Udovicic trying to make something happen. Stays on side with O'Neill. The rest of the crew changes. Zeng comes on with Helm and Milik. 2:14 left in the first period. Remains 2-0 Snipers. And we'll have a slashing penalty. Snipers will go to the box at 2:12 of the first period. Shots are 12-3. They're up 2-0. Well, the Aces will get their second chance at a power play here. Helm, Milik, Moore, Dillon, and Zeng on the power play unit. Faceoff comes back to Helm. Helm over to Milik. Milik looking for some space to get it down to Moore. Moore has Zeng in the center. Pass just gets behind him. Helm now at the top of the circle. He throws it in the center. Quick pass from Moore. Couldn't get the shot off. Moore back up to Milik. Moore now on the side. Catches a skate of Mateo Peso, who's able to clear it up through center. Helm is back there to poke it away. Helm gets dragged down with Milik. Milik finds it. Centering pass to Zeng just outside of his reach. Peso with that long reach where was able to get a stick in front of it. Throws a pass right back into neutral ice, but Milik is right there into the skate to Helm. Should have cleared up to Zeng, who pokes it over for Jack Moore. Jack's got a little one-on-one happening, but Dillon is offside at 1:17 of the first period to get whistled down. 1:05 left in the Snipers penalty. Shelley, Camlade, and O'Neill will come on up front with Cochran and Kerrigan for the second half of this penalty. Camlade lines up O'Neill to her left. O'Neill picks up the loose puck off the faceoff. He goes straight for it, puts a bit of a move, still runs into traffic, goes back to Kerrigan. Kerrigan over to Cochran. Cochran chips it in deep. Camlade and Shelley have to go hunt it down. O'Neill picks it up, tries to center it, goes off a skate of a Sniper, and it gets back outside in the neutral zone. Gets past Kerrigan. He has to chase it down. Cochran's setting a screen for him to create some space. Kerrigan around his own net. Tons of pressure from the Snipers. Cochran then has to pick it up. Cochran with the puck himself through his own zone. O'Neill stays on side. Shelley down the middle. Cochran takes it all the way himself around the back of the net. Looking for somebody to get open. Down into the near corner here. O'Neill has it now. He cycles it around. Pushes it back to Cochran on the near boards. Cochran. His pass gets interrupted. Snipers all over this. O'Neill picks up the loose puck behind the net. Centering pass. There's nobody there. Quickly. Shelley trying to get a stick on it. Tender's lost his stick. Everybody's on the ground. Loose puck right out front. Bounces off of Kerrigan. He's able to regroup in the neutral zone. Penalty's over. Back to full strength hockey. Everybody gets on side. Shelley gets a shot off and gets tipped. And that is the end of the first period. 2-0 for the Snipers. The Aces were able to get a few shots off to even it up a little bit. 12-7 are the shots now at the end of the first period. The Aces spent most of the first period in the box, but got a couple of power plays as we got deeper into the period. Couldn't capitalize. These two teams know each other very well. You have players from the Wolves, the Flyers, the Beavers, the Bulldogs. You can see the intensity. These two kind of mixed mash teams playing against each other. They're not foreign to one another, that is for sure. Graham, Udovicic, and West will come out with Cindric and Betts to start the second period. Flag between the pipes. Snipers taking their full allotment between the periods to talk about it. All right, so Graham's going to line up for the face-off for the Aces. Udovicic to his right, West on the left. Going to have Cindric on the far side for us anyway, on defense, and Betts in the white helmet behind him, kind of hanging out deep in his own zone right now, off screen. Sniper's taking their sweet time to get not happy with them. Luke Harrington lines up against Graham. Face off, bit of a dead puck. Udovicic picks it up and gets across the blue line. Can't get past Peso's long reach. Puck it all the way back out. Cindric dumps it deep as the Aces get back on side. They're still offside. Puck comes into the neutral zone. Aces pick it up in their own zone. Cindric is on it, battling a couple of snipers on the far boards. Betts is in there. Betts comes away with it himself. He's got West to his left. Puts a bit of a move, hits the skate of Hoff. Shot goes high into the netting. .14:25 of the second period, 2-0 Snipers. Aces will change out. Snipers will continue the same line. Zhang will come on with O'Neill and Dylan, Helm, and Milik. Zhang's faceoff goes over to Dylan, and then Helm picks it up at the blue line. He throws a pass down to Zhang and just bounces over his stick, and he has to recover. O'Neill pushes it back up to Milik. They're able to handle it at the blue line. Now we got to get back on side. O'Neill trying to find it. There's Milik at center ice. Ships it just over to Dylan, but that long reach of Mateo Peso. Peso versus Helm. Helm blows a tire. Shot pad save off the post. Aces got lucky there. Peso again with the puck in neutral zone. Zhang pressuring. Dylan now pressuring. Puck with Hoff. Everybody's all over the pressure. The Aces want to recover from that. All the way up to O'Neill. O'Neill takes it across the blue line. Dumps it in deep. Dylan's going to try and chase it down against Mateo Peso in that corner. O'Neill and Dylan behind the net. Centering pass. Shot. Pad save. The loose puck gets picked up by the Snipers in the middle. Snipers back with a bit of a 3-on-2 now. Milik and Helm are right there. Shot gets blocked by the chest of Western Helm. Milik picks it up. Throws it up ahead to O'Neill. Chips it over to Dylan. Dylan across the blue line. Leaves it for Zhang. Zhang's got some speed. Gets a shot off. Pad save. Loose puck in front. Snipers pick it up. Snipers back the other way. Have a 4-on-2 as the Aces change. Helm and Milik all by themselves out there. Gets interrupted by Milik. And they're back the other way with a 4-on-0. Long pass to nobody. The Aces couldn't get it done. And icing gets called on the 4-on-0. Kerrigan and Cochran coming on D to relieve Milik and Helm after that long shift. 12:51 in the second period remain. More Camlade and Shelley up front. Puck goes in the neutral zone. Moore is right there in front of his own bench. All the way back into Snipers territory. Kerrigan's pressure.